So it came to my attention while looking over the board of directors that the vice president of Penndel Mental Health Center's board of directors is a gentleman named C. Emmanuel Ahia, who seems to be a Nigerian immigrant to the United States who's very impressive, on paper at least. He's a lawyer, he's a mental health professional, he's also a pastor at a local evangelical church, a very popular evangelical church called Cavalry Christian. That runs a number of churches throughout the country and a number of schools throughout the country. And his church's stance is consistent with Christianity and is in the description. Basically, it states that God's purpose for sex has to do with the pairing of one man and one woman for the purpose of procreation. In my previous video on Penndel Mental Health, which I'll leave a link to, I pointed out how they're celebrating Pride Month, but what I left out, because I didn't know what it was they were also celebrating the Stonewall riots. Now, the Stonewall riots, or they don't call it riots, but that's what it was a violent anti-heterosexual act of terrorism. And they're celebrating this as though it's some kind of happy-go-lucky thing for, justice and all. No, it's an anti-heterosexual terrorist action against the United States citizenry, is what it is. Okay? So it is a terrorist action by homosexuals against American citizens. Now, I'm not saying that this gentleman, this Dr. Ahia, I'm not saying that he is in on this or that he knows anything about this. I highly doubt that he does. Or he would not be the vice president of the board of directors of Penndel Mental Health, Penndel Mental Health Centers. Clearly, he would be, practicing with a conflict of interest to be supporting an agency that supports the homosexual agenda and the transgendered agenda and the lesbian agenda and the gay agenda, as well as to be a pastor at a church that is vehemently opposed to the homosexual agenda. Okay? I don't see how anyone with any sense, regardless of their religious affiliation, can celebrate an insurrection, a riot. Now, as noted in my last video I made today regarding the BLM riots and lootings and all that, and even in regards to the civil rights riots, when you compare the 2 years of looting and all this stuff that went on in the name of St. Floyd, what I want you to understand is what happened on January 6th, while equally bad, did not incur the same amount of chaos and destruction of public and private property. Now, the reason everybody's all hot and bothered about, what happened on January 6th is because it put the lives of the elected officials at risk. Well, what about the lives of U.S. citizens? What about the other state houses throughout the country that have been taken over by BLM violently? Okay? That doesn't matter. My life doesn't matter. Your life doesn't matter. The average citizen's life does not matter. What about all the black people murdered by black people? Do their lives matter? Probably not to the elected officials who are aggressively funding the Capitol Hill police while talking out the other side of their mouth to defund the regular police. And this is the same liberal agenda that is being promoted by Penndel Mental Health Center. Now, I'm making this video, and I do hope that Dr. Ahia sees this video so that he understands that he is unfortunately, probably unbeknownst to him, supporting a radical anti-heterosexual group, violent. They're promoting violence. By supporting the Stonewall riot, they are promoting violence against heterosexual Americans, and they are promoting terrorism against the United States of America. This is not like saying we support gay pride. This is saying we support violent action taken by homosexual extremists against law-abiding heterosexual Americans and against law and order in the United States of America. This is not as simple as saying, look at us, we're happy, we love gay people. No, this is saying we, as a mental health agency, support violence against heterosexual Americans. And that should not be tolerated by anyone. Okay? And that's what people need to understand. That's what needs to be understood here. And that's all for this video.